Hey everyone, and welcome back to That's It. This shit is getting real, you guys. Okay, Shonda D. Combs' trial started today, May 12th. Oh my gosh, so much to cover, so much to tell you guys, and I just want to dive in, but I want to take my time and make sure I give you all the right, correct information and what I have learned and what was told to me. And luckily, I am so grateful and thankful that I met Secret Service Sam, which you can follow him on TikTok. He's the one that I met last week when we both were covering Sean Diddy Combs' trial, and he actually flew in yesterday to cover more of the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. So he is spilling the tea and giving me all the information, which I'm grateful and thankful for. And he was like telling me before the courtroom opened that he was camping out last night, and a lot of people were camping out. And the crazy thing is that what he was telling me was that people that were camping out and waiting in the line, if they decide to leave that line and decide to come back, people will charge them $300. $300, guys. People will charge them to get back in line where they were standing originally. Isn't that crazy? I'm in the wrong business here. And you know what? I can't be mad. People are just hustling and bustling because people want to cover this case. People want to, be the front row seat at the main courtroom, opposed to like being in the overflow section. And you don't want to wait in that long line because that line is crazy, you guys. So people are willing to pay $300 to stand in the front of the line and to have that front row seat to gather all the information that they need to report it. So luckily with Secret Service Samson, he did not, or Sam, excuse me, he did not pay the $300. Someone was nice enough to hold that line for him so he can go back to the hotel, get some good night rest, eat something, and then first thing Monday morning, he's sharp and he's reporting the news, which he has been doing, and he's been incredible and doing an amazing job, you guys. So shout out to Secret Service Sam. You can definitely check him out on TikTok and follow him. And he is the one that's reporting all the information of Shonda D. Combs' opening trial. And can I tell you, it is crazy. A lot of information. I don't even know where to start or where to begin, but I just want to take it slow and inform you guys all the information that was given to me. So apparently his children arrived at the courtroom in the morning. His mother, Janice Combs, sat front row seat of the courtroom along with the six of Shonda D. Combs' son's children, and he wore a beige sweater over a white collar shirt and khakis. Very professional, but I know what his defense team is trying to do to paint him out to be this, this cookie cutter, innocent man, that he didn't do anything wrong, that all this was consensual, that they knew, these accusers knew what they were getting themselves into, that, Shonda D. Combs is innocent, and obviously you're innocent until proven guilty, until your peers decide if you're guilty or not guilty. So it's very funny how the defense team is making the jurors paint him out to be this, cookie cutter guy wearing this outfit and some dark sunglasses that he wore in the courtroom. But I want to show you a clips of his children walking inside the courtroom before the trial starts. So I just want to give you a glimpse of that before I get into the nitty gritty, what happened in that courtroom. Okay, crazy. So they're walking inside. Let me just put this right here so I don't get interrupted. So continuing on, Combs pump fists and smile at his children. Where we at? Okay, Combs left the courtroom in good spirits for an afternoon lunch break, pumping his fists and smiling at his children, and one of whom flashed him a heart symbol with her hands. Over the course of the 2 months trial, jurors are expected to hear testimonies from three, possibly or four, of the rapper's female accusers, as well as his former employee, who prosecutors said helped helped arrange and cover up his actions. So obviously, we know so far that Cassidy is the first the the first victim. The second victim, I'm not quite sure who it is, but the third victims that you've been hearing talks about that may not show up or just going to be MIA is Gina Hun. Apparently, she may not show up to testify. I don't know if she got scared or someone bribed her or someone intimidated her, but apparently she's trying to back out and not testify against Sean Diddy Combs. Very, very scary, and I hope that she reconsider and do the right thing and not let intimidation or fear or any of Sean Diddy's Combs, goons or intimidate her for her not to testify, because she is apparently, according to the federal prosecutors, she is the main person as well to testify against Sean Diddy Combs. Like, she is the key witness as well. So hopefully, they will try to convince her to testify, and she will be protected. I don't know. I will let you know more information about that. So, like I said, Combs also faces at least 50 civil lawsuits accusing him of sexual abuse, including one from the government start witness, Combs' ex-girlfriend, the rhythm and blues singer Cassandra Ventura, known as Cassidy. And then, obviously she said on her lawsuit disclosed terms. We don't know what was the settlement was, but she is definitely going to testify against Sean Diddy Combs. And, they're going to paint her out to be, she knew Sean Diddy Combs' lifestyle. She was very, this was consensual. They're just going to paint her to be like she knew about this, and she could have left. She could have left if she knew things were getting hot in the kitchen. I just made that up, but you know what I mean. And she is almost 6 or 7 months pregnant, so she is very pregnant. She's just going to do this testify, and then after her testimony, she is gone. She's out, because you can't, a pregnant woman can't be with throughout the stress, and I just hope and pray that obviously Combs' defense team is going to paint her out to be this participant woman at the time that she was engaged in all this. She knew what this was with Sean Diddy Combs, this whole swinger thing. But let's just get this point across, okay? This was forced against her will, okay? Sean Diddy Combs is a very manipulating person, okay? He drugged her, he abused her, he tear her down, he hired escorts to have sex with her against her will, okay? He filmed it to blackmail her. He blackmailed her career. If you don't do this and that, I'm going to release this video of what you've done. And half the time she probably don't remember because she was being drugged. I believe that this was forced against her will. So obviously, the defense team is going to paint something completely different when we all know for a fact that Cassidy was there against her will. She was being forced to do certain things that she normally wouldn't do. Now, were there some drugs involved when were there good between the two individuals? Yeah, probably. You know what I mean? She probably engaged some drugs activity, but I guarantee, and I'm not in her head and I'm not in her mind, and I clearly wasn't there. I don't think she was willing to have sex with another a prostitute and being filmed against her will. I don't think that was the thing that she wanted to do. You know what I mean? So obviously the defense is going to paint out to be this woman that she knew. She wanted this. She knew what was going to happen. Like, she knew about Sean Diddy Combs' lifestyle, and they're going to paint that picture. But I believe with the federal prosecutor, they're going to paint a different picture. Like I just said, that certain things were happening against Cassidy that she didn't want to be involved with. It. She wanted out, and she couldn't leave. She couldn't leave Sean Diddy Combs because he was just everywhere. He had people follow her. He blew up cars, for people to stay away from her. He was a very high, powerful, connected person that, wherever she might be, they tell her, they tell him, she couldn't escape from this man as much as she wanted to. And it clearly says it on her lawsuit. She couldn't. A lot of people say, well, it's easy said and done, that she could have just walked away. But someone like that, that's crazy, unhinged, and have money, power, and influence, how can you not, how can you leave? How can you? I would have said the same thing myself, to just leave, just walk away. But when you have someone like that that's so powerful and you try to tell someone and they don't believe you, they believe him, what would you do in that situation? What would you do when someone break you down and said, no one's not going to believe you, they're going to believe me because I'm Sean Diddy Cole. I'm Love, I'm Diddy, I'm whatever name he's calling himself these days. You get what I'm saying? So she was stuck in a hard place. She wanted to leave. She was being abused by this monster, okay? And then the whole world saw the infamous video of the 2016, him beating her up like a polt, like a rag doll, captured on tape, and then later on did a press release of a fake ass apology, which is totally bullshit because he got caught. He never mentioned Cassidy's name. He never said that he was sorry. He just said that he felt utterly disgusted, and I'm just layman's term, that he was just not right in the head and he's trying to get help, which is all bullshit. He got caught and he was trying to do damage control. But anyway, you know the rest. But what I wanted to tell you, what's the crazy thing that happened inside the courtroom, and I thought that Cassidy was going to testify, but apparently Israel Florez testified. And anyone don't know who Israel Florez is, he's a gentleman that who was a witness of Cassidy's abuse by Sean Diddy Combs in that hotel. And that hotel, the name of the hotel is the Intercontinental Hotel. And at the time, he was a security guard, but now he's an NYPD police officer. And this was back in 2016, and everyone don't remember, which I think everyone remembers the infamous video. This is the picture of Cassidy going to the elevator, trying to leave, because apparently Sean Diddy Combs was asleep, or he was high, or he passed out, and then he just ran out of the hotel room in the hallway with his towel and colorful socks, trying to stop Cassidy from getting into that elevator. Okay, the 2016 infamous video, and this is a picture of it on March, and it's just crazy. And he testified, and he witnessed a lot of things. And I didn't know that he recorded also the incident on his phone and showed his wife, because he knew that his wife wouldn't believe him. So obviously, the rumors that they were saying is true. There's multiple videos out there. Obviously, CNN leaked this video, and apparently Israel Florez recorded it as well. And that's what he told the federal prosecutors, that he recorded it, and he heard an incident that was happening on the 6th floor. He went to the 6th floor to see what was the whole commotion about, and he saw Cassidy, getting beat up. He noticed Cassidy had a black eye, and saying that, he was telling Diddy and Cassidy that they needed to take this argument inside the room because he didn't want any more disturbance outside the hotel. He definitely recognized Cassidy, he said to the prosecutors, and he definitely recognized Sean Diddy Combs as well. So it started to get escalated, and I'm just going to read to you briefly what the prosecutors asked Florez, and just briefly. So he asked what time the incident took place, 11 a.m. He got a report that a woman was, like I said, having a commotion. Sean was pacing back and forth with his towel and his colorful socks. Then what else? So, like I said, he was a security guard at the time in 2016. Now he's a LAPD. This happened on March 5th of 2016. He was told to go on the 6th floor. And what else? And then, like I said, Combs had a towel, colorful socks. He's a rapper, producer. Cassidy was on the floor while Shauna DeCombe was beating her up like a pole, and he witnessed that, and that's what he told the prosecutors. Then the prosecutors showed photos of what alleged happened, and then Florence had to tell the prosecutors, yes, this is what I saw. Then the prosecutor asked, so what did you tell them? And then he, like I told you earlier, Florence told them, you need to go back to the inside to your room because you're arguing and you're disturbing other people and that's staying in that hotel. Then Florence said, Mrs. Cassidy said she wanted to leave. Mr. Combs said, you're not leaving. I saw inside the room a male black wearing a dark clothing. Then the prosecutors asked Florence, what did Mr. Combs do after Cassidy left? He called for me, who was holding a stack of money, not to tell anyone. Then the prosecutor said, what did you say? Florence said, I don't want your money. The damage is going to be charged to your room. So, pause right there. So Shauna DeCombe was trying to pay this man out, not to say anything, not to report it. And Florence said, no, I don't want your money. This is going to be charged in your hotel room, and that's the bottom line. So he was not taking the money. He was not taking the bribery because he wanted this thing to go away. Then the prosecutor asked Florence, where did Cassidy go? After I spoke with her, she left. A car she left in a black SUV, and there was a driver there. Then Florence said, Mrs. Cassidy said she wanted to leave. I'll repeat that again. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh, she wanted to leave. I saw her inside the room with a male. Okay, continue. And then he stack of money, blah, blah, blah. I already read that already. Sorry. Then the prosecutors asked, let's walk through this. Who is this? Then Florence said Cassidy, because I guess she showed a picture of him. And this, Mr. Combs. What's happening here? Then Florence said that Cassidy picked up the phone on the wall. I guess it was on the wall, somewhere on the wall, and then she picked it up. And the prosecutor said, the question is, what did you find when you got there? A broken vase. The prosecutor said, what is at the end of this video? Florence said, he's coming out of their elevator. Let's pull up the incident report again. Florence said, here. We remind him that, oh, I can't even read it, sorry. We remind him that, that the incident time was approaching. Then the prosecutor said, what did you add to the incident report after you received the video? Florence said, I described what I saw in the video. The prosecutor asked, what did you do with the video? Florence said, I recorded 2 videos of it with my phone and to show my wife at home. Florence responds, the video of the video with his voice over, including about how shiny his shoes were, is played for the jurors. The prosecutor asks, did you work the next day? He said, no, I had to take 2 days off because after that, what he saw, that could mess anyone up. I'll probably take 2 days off or 3 days off after what I saw. Then the prosecutor asks, when you came back in, did you look for the video? Florence says, I did. Florence said, but it was gone. Prosecutor asks, did you ever see it again? He said, yes, recently. No further questions. And then there was a cross-examine. And that was it. This is damaging, you guys. This is damaging. Whoops, sorry, I moved my phone, my computer. Damaging. This is not looking good, okay? They showed the video what happened to Cassidy. This man, Florence, Israel Florez, he testified. He was the eyewitness to the whole beating of Cassidy. Third, he taped the incident, okay? He taped the incident, showed his wife, okay? Incredible testimony, okay, you guys? Incredible testimony, and this is not looking good so far. not looking good. So obviously, the defense team of Diddy were going back and forth, trying to dismantle what Israel said and stuff like that. So it was a whole back and forth thing. But I want to tell you what they're trying to do and what they're trying to paint out. And I'm going to, and this is my notes, okay? What the federal prosecutor is laying out the case against him, meaning Sean Diddy Combs. So this is what the federal prosecutor had to say, okay? They said that he committed crimes for 20 years, including corrosion. Am I saying it right? Corrosion? Am I saying corrosion? Corrosion, sex, and other acts of violence, kidnapping, arson. Okay? The defense team is going to say there was no such crimes. Nothing happened. There was no arson. There was no sex acts or any violence. Also, the defense team is going to say this was just about Sean Diddy Combs' sexual preference. That's what they're going to lay out to the jurors. Sexual preference. They may not be everyone's cup of tea, but led a swinger lifestyle. This was a consensual threesome. Then the federal prosecutor said, this case is not about celebrity sexual preference. It sure ain't. That's it. It's not. It's about a freak off that happened after regular party after hours. That's what happened, you guys. This was not consensual at all. I know it. You know it. Everyone else knows it. That's not what happened here. That's what the defense team is trying to paint out to the people and to the jurors, but that's not what's happening here. Continuing on, they say that Sean Combs coerced women into sexual acts called freak off, and they were not free to leave. You got that right. It was not free to leave. I just feel like it's like they were slaves. They were slaves being drunk and doing what Sean Diddy Combs want them to do, and have them filmed, have them on tape, so he can blackmail them. Say, you know what? If you decide to leave, if you decide to do this, I have this over your head. And not knowing that they were being filmed against their will, okay? I'm sorry to say, the victims were all being drugged, being forced to do things that they didn't want to do, and Sean Diddy Combs threatened them, blackmailed them into a freak-off thing. He knew exactly what he was doing. And that's what the federal prosecutors is trying to let the jurors know about that, okay? But his defense team saying that a different story. Like I said, this all was consensual. This was a swinger thing, threesomes. They were all involved. They wanted this. I'm like, yeah, okay. You could try to use that, but no one's not buying it. And I hope, with all the evidence and everything is presented to the jurors, that they will find out the truth for themselves, that this is a man who's been committing crimes for the last 20 years and getting away with it. And people knew about it too. People that worked for him, they knew about his behavior. They knew about the things that he's been doing, and they said nothing because they were being paid. Okay, they were being paid to shut up and not do anything because that was his boss at the time. So whatever Sean Diddy Combs say, that's what they did. Okay, because they didn't want to lose his job, opposed to doing the right thing and reporting these acts of violence, these sexual, consensual things that's been happening to these women and men that they didn't want any part of the freak off. And the people that were involved in this, like I keep saying in my past video, they need to be prosecuted as well because they knew what was happening and they said and did nothing, you guys. Nothing. So this is just the first witness, and this is just only Monday. We got the rest of the week to go, you guys. And this is just crazy. And I can't even imagine what Cassidy has to say. And other eyewitnesses that's going to testify against Sean Diddy Combs. But, his defense team is going to pin out the picture that, this was all consensual, a swinger and stuff like that. But, it's going to be hard to believe that when the FBI have a lot of proof about, all the drugs that were being drugged by people and the toxicology reports and stuff like that, that's going to be hard to prove that these people were drugged against their will, and then they were being performed sexual acts by prostitutes, and they wanted to leave but they couldn't. It's just going to be very damaging on Sean Diddy Combs' case and my part. But again, it's only day one of this opening statement, and there's going to be more testimony that's going to occur this week and following up the weeks as well. And also, I wanted to report this trial may take up to what, 6 weeks or maybe longer. It all depends how much people are testifying and how much evidence they're going to present during this hearing and this trial. So I'm going to stay tuned for more, and I'm going to report to you more information, more news throughout this whole week of Sean Diddy Combs' trial. It's just getting crazy, you guys. Getting crazy, and it's only just the beginning. Just the beginning. But let me know your thoughts and your comments about this video and what I just told you. And it's just crazy. It's just so much information, you guys, and I just want to make sure that I'm reporting justly, if that makes sense, or I just made that up. I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. I just want to make sure that I'm reporting this the right way and giving you all the information that I'm giving you. And again, it is a lot of information, a lot of stuff that I just covered just now, and there's more. There is more to come, and there's more to cover, which I will be covering throughout this whole week. Thanks to my partner in crime, my friend, Secret Service Sam, and I'm just really appreciative, like I said, that he is, reporting the case of Sean Diddy Combs, the trial actually, and I'm going to tell you more information about it, you guys, so just stay tuned for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.